Khaled Hosseini was born in Kabul, Afghanistan in 1965 and is the oldest of 5 children. His father was a diplomat in the Afghan Foreign Ministry, and his mother taught Farsi and history at a high school in Kabul. In 1976, the Foreign Ministry relocated the Hosseini family to Paris. They were ready to return to Kabul in 1980, but by then their homeland had witnessed a bloody communist coup and the invasion of the Soviet army. The Hosseinis sought and were granted political asylum in the United States, and in September 1980 moved to San Jose, California. Hosseini graduated from high school in 1984 and enrolled at Santa Clara University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in biology in 1988. The following year, he entered the University of California, San Diego School of Medicine, where he earned a medical degree in 1993. He completed his residency at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles and was a practicing intern between 1996 and 2004. In March 2001, while practicing medicine, Hosseini began writing his first novel, The Kite Runner. It was published by Riverhead Books in 2003. That debut went on to become an international bestseller and beloved classic, sold in at least 70 countries and spending more than 100 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. The Kite Runner earned a number of popular and critical awards, including the Borders Original Voice Award, the San Francisco Chronicle Best Book of the Year Award, and the South African Boek Prize. A film version of The Kite Runner opened in 2007 to mixed critical reviews and is currently available on DVD. The immigrant experience in The Kite Runner is autobiographical, based on the difficulties that Hosseini and his parents experienced in California. In May 2007, his second novel, A Thousand Splendid Suns, debuted at #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, remaining in that spot for 15 weeks and nearly an entire year on the bestseller list. Together, the two books have sold more than 10 million copies in the United States and more than 38 million copies worldwide. The Kite Runner was adapted into a graphic novel of the same name in 2011. Hosseini's much-awaited third novel, And the Mountains Echoed, was published on May 21, 2013. In 2006, Hosseini was named a Goodwill Envoy to UNHCR, the United Nations Refugee Agency. Inspired by a trip he made to Afghanistan with the UNHCR, he later established the Khaled Hosseini Foundation, a non-profit organization which provides humanitarian assistance to the people of Afghanistan. Hosseini now lives in Northern California. Hosseini is currently on an open-ended sabbatical from practicing medicine to focus on his writing. Hosseini is a fiction writer. Hosseini's books really bring you into a whole different world in Afghanistan. His writing really captures the lives of people that live there. Reading Hosseini's writing really shines light on how different life is in Afghanistan rather than life in the United States. Each book will put you in the shoes of different people that have to face hardships throughout their life in Afghanistan. One of his quotes is, "Children aren't coloring books. You don't get to fill them with your favorite colors."
The characters Tarek and Layla, who were a pair of young lovers living in Kabul in the 1990s, and civil war has just broken out. And I think the rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. "It's the whistling," Layla said to Tarek. "The damn whistling I hate more than anything." Tarek nodded knowingly. It wasn't so much the whistling itself, Layla thought later, but the seconds between the start of it and impact. The brief and interminable time of feeling suspended, the not knowing, the waiting, like a defendant about to hear the verdict. Often it happened at dinner when she and Bobby were at the table. When it started, their heads snapped up. They listened to the whistling, forks in midair, unchewed food in their mouths. Laila saw the reflection of their half-lit faces in the pitch-black window, their shadows unmoving on the wall. The whistling, then the blast, blissfully elsewhere, followed by an expulsion of breath, and the knowledge that they had been spared for now, while somewhere else, amid cries and choking clouds of smoke, there was a scrambling, a bare-handed frenzy of digging, of pulling from the debris what remained of a sister, a brother, a grandchild. But the flip side of being spared was the agony of wondering who hadn't. After every rocket blast,